No one can form a skill for a very long time. It can do for like 200 years, but it can't do for like 300 years. One day, chicken yarn, fowl yarn should open.
Yes. Yeah. So in that aspect,
okay.
Since you have communicated, you understand me. So the moment you do that, then that person is very vulnerable to you. So in a real sense, no matter the script the person is playing, you will see it live.
So that thing you talked about vulnerability, I'm going to bring it to relationships now. So if my deal breaker is, I like you calling me, I love attention, yeah. So if my deal breaker is, you don't call me like 3-4-7. I don't say 2-4, I say 3-4-7. So you call me in the morning, hey babe, you've not woken up. Oh babe, I will wake up. Then you call me another time and say, oh babe, have you woken up now? Yes. Have you eaten? I want to go out cook. Okay. Babe, have you it must be like that. 3-4-7. So nothing personal really, it's just me, yeah. So now if you're going to call, if my deal breaker is you not calling me, yeah, and you want to start forcing yourself to start it, over time, one day you will miss the timing, no matter the alarm clock you're setting. I mean, you want to do voice call. So coming back to you, I feel like when I communicate it to somebody, I'm telling you my vulnerable side. I'm showing you my vulnerable side. So at what point do you communicate your deal breaker without trying to not allow people to see you as, oh, okay, so she's actually soft. Oh, okay, so he's actually this. Do you understand? Because, for instance, now there are some people I've met people that have bosses like, don't look into my eyes. Don't look into my eyes. So you realize that when people do like the eye contact, yeah. I want to like put the eye. In Yoruba we call it Oju Mary. Yes, that's 4 eyes. Yeah. So once people make the 4 eyes contact, your boss is like, oh no, don't look at it. But you realize that once you do that, probably he has like an after 4 eyes or. I'm not trying to say that's a bad sign. I'm just trying to say that it's vulnerability. So it's telling you like, oh, don't look into my eyes. I don't like it. So let me look into yours, and you like try to wander away. So in that situation, that person is trying to bring out the vulnerable side of him. So it's like an insecurity person is bringing out. So what do you think? Communicating your deal breakers and yet not trying to be vulnerable.
To every rule, there's an exception.
Oh shit.
So I feel when you are communicating your deal breakers to your partner, you have to be considerate.
Okay.
This person you are going into a relationship with, you have to create exception for this person. You don't like to call. I personally am Ziba. I like attention. I crave it. It's something for me. Okay. But I don't expect you to call me morning, afternoon, or overdo. You understand? Like, maybe talk twice a day is something for me. You understand? But if I have a partner that I know that, okay, it's always busy and everything, a text will do. Like, hey babe, how are you? And I could reply, respond. You understand? So, I already understand that this is who this person is. You already told me. I know the nature of what you do, how your schedule for every day is. So, it is left to me to act. Like, I have to fix things. Like, okay, if I call my partner tomorrow, it might be in a meeting or something. You understand? But if I am overdoing calling 100 times,
oh my son, you better get tired.
I'll tell you. See, no, I'll not even tell you. I'm doing it too much. I'll just block you. Finish. It has ended there. You understand? So you just have to do stuff that will be comfortable for both
parties. Definitely. Oh, I really understand that. So now I want to bring it back to you now. This vulnerability we're talking about. So if, for instance, I'm vulnerable to my business, I'm vulnerable to this show. So I know that if you say anything that would lead to a suspension and everything, that's a vulnerable side. I'll tell you, oh, please don't say this. And you know that saying this is going to hurt me. So at that moment, me telling you not to say it, I'm showing a vulnerable part, a part of me that if you spike will really get to me. Now we know in the search of power, one of the things I'm talking about, because in the search of power, human beings can do anything to get power, and they can do anything to keep power, and they can do anything to evade power. So now in understanding this part, and I want to communicate my deal breakers, I know that one of the deal breakers for me, like, oh, I don't want to lose my business here. I never want to go back to ground floor or rockets, or bottom pots in that word, yeah. So how do I communicate my deal breakers that still puts me in a place of power? Because I know it hurts me, but how do I control it? Because I don't want someone to walk up to someone else and say, oh, this is my deal breaker, I want you to call me, I want to do that. So that person now feels all she needs is just for me to call her, so I can cheat on her, let me just call her. Or all it needs is for me to just bring money inside, so I can as well decide not to come to work early. All for me just to do this, but I'm not going to do that. I don't know if you understand. So I want us to dissect it in the sense that, oh, it's a deal breaker here, and the fact that whatever you do would hamper my peace of mind or hamper like the success of my organization or whatsoever. How else can I communicate it that even no matter what you do or no matter how you do it, I'm not still like, it's going to hurt me, but I don't want you to leverage on my vulnerability. I don't know if I'm dissecting the question very well, because I don't want you to leverage on it, because that's the point. Why in relationship I feel ladies don't say something like, you are listening to a guy for like a year. I'm not saying it's good or it's bad, yeah, but you don't want to ask for money, so he doesn't perceive you like, oh, okay, this one likes money. Do you understand? And you employ a new staff. You don't want to be like, oh, do this, do that, because you don't be like, I don't want to be the pushy boss. Do you understand? Like, so many things happen in the mind of a man. So how well do we, because our listeners, I believe that our listeners are people of diverse cultures, diverse understanding. So I want them to understand that, oh, while I'm communicating my deal breakers, I'm showing a vulnerable side. And the effect of the effect of the other part, the dead end of the deal breaker, is one thing that is going to be painful to me. So how else do I position myself that it doesn't work? Do you understand? Yeah. So let's look at it from business perspective now.
Thank you very much, Mohammed. There's so many ways. You get what I'm saying? Understanding the chemistry of the background. You understand me? Now, if you're vulnerable, then this second party is a person you know. You understand me? They worked together for a very long time. So to be on the safer side, because actually, once the deal breaker comes in, do you understand me? It's gonna go, you understand me? So it's gonna make you who you want to be. Are you guys understand? So protecting you, that's how you do it. You don't come straight. Are you guys understand? So you play some systematic, you take it drastically.
Wow, thank you so much. I really like that part you said. Like, I really like that part when you said you have to. It's like a power of you. So in as much as you communicate it, you choose to be vulnerable. So it's a vulnerable part of me, but doesn't mean I would not stand my ground. But I will not stand my ground or something. Do you understand? Because I'm just looking at it like, there's no part of you that is not vulnerable. You stepping out, it's a part of you that, oh, if someone spills something on your white clothes now, it's like it's going to hurt you. But the way you react to it is going to be different. And you would not even allow that person, you not even give the person the power so much for you person to now make sure that, oh, okay, this is what I'm doing, or this is what I'm doing. And I feel like that is really good in businesses. Because if you don't communicate, it's worse. And if you communicate, it's a vulnerable side, but you need to act. So that's why when you tell people that, oh, once you do this thing, I can't accept it. Termination of this, termination of that, termination of that. Thank you so much, Abraham. Like, you really did justice to it with that word. Like, segmenting yourself. So you remove yourself from your emotions. And I think that's one of the powerful things. Trying to stand, put your head out, even though it's like it's an emotional place. Then now, I want to ask one question. So, okay, before I ask this question, I want us to mention like various deal breakers for you personally. Personally for you, what I want to ask, like various deal breakers. Like for me now, let me see. I don't want to say the normal attention here, but I'm going to mention various deal breakers, and we'll as well pick on one person's own and elaborate on it. So a major deal breaker for me is not sound too okay. I'm thinking. I'm trying to think. Everything is just going around my head. Okay. Someone that doesn't listen. Like, if you don't listen, to me, listening is more than you looking at me and listening to me. Yeah, it's more about you listening and coming back for check. That feedback is the main thing. So for instance, I call you and I'm like, oh, my day is bad, blah 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 blah, and I'm like this, I'm just going home, blah blah. Then like I'm having the call 2 hours later. What's happening? I don't have a phone call to say, hey, sorry, auntie, have you get home? Auntie, what I mean? You're not get home. So like that thing it's a deal breaker for me, yeah. And so another person just like say I had a bad day, just leave me, like zone me out. Do you understand? So like another deal breaker for you generally could be friendship,
Yeah, constant cheating.
Okay.
Something I cannot deal with.
Bow.
Red card.
Abraham, you.
Yo, misconception of background. Yeah.
Deep.
I'm like, you're just taking me back to, you're taking me from playful something to a serious something. Like, I'm really enjoying the balance and the fun in the studio here, because you're just everybody like it's just going. Oh, this moment where you want to laugh about this thing, everybody just bring us back like it's a serious something. But that's nice. It helps to balance the understanding for our listeners.
Yeah.
So misconception of background, please. I'm begging you, please. Help me to evangelate it, help me to break it down into smaller pieces.
Thank you very much, David. Misconception of background, you understand me? Your second part is coming from a different place or wherever. Where you get what I'm saying? So that's a serious thing. You need to, you don't know the kind of person he or she is, you understand me? The way you act and all that. Right from day one, you failed to know. I get what I'm saying. So you jumped in, permit me to use that word, impromptu. I just want to do business. I just want a business partner. Let me just go with that. But with that failure, that person, the behavior, the behavioral aspect of it and of that particular person. So causes what? So at the end of the day, you will not be able to cope. I get what I'm saying. So
true.
Like how? Any little thing he or she nags and all that. You understand me? And you wanted in the later on, you understand me? Later on, you wanted a straightforward person and all that, but you never took your time. You understand? So
true. And I feel like this thing is really key because once you start doing something at the point you need it, just like you have a wedding and you want to show your ashwebi on Monday or Friday night, you are left at the mercy of whoever you meet. So whatever you see is what you get. So Mr. Person, sometimes I feel like assumption is actually a big thing.
I don't know if this person is perfect. This person is like this.
Don't ever assume. Don't assume. It's better you keep. I feel like when you meet people for the first time, you keep like an open book. But don't like it's not always good. I think people say like I'm sort of too official here, but I feel like when you meet people, keep an open book. Don't assume like, oh, I met this person at the party, this person is fun loving. No, the person might be high on something. I feel like also when you meet somebody too, you should like. You don't just assume like, oh wow, this guy is tall. Or for instance, someone seeing me sitting here, I'm taking a very nice selfie. Like, wow, she's so tall. And yes, I'm tall. Just in case you're watching, and you're listening, I'm actually tall. It just takes eyes to see. Eyes. It takes eyes.
With a long nail.
Yes, eyes with a long nail and middle, and the middle eye. Oh my God! Thank you so much, guys, for coming in. So like, I'm just going to say like, don't assume. When you meet people, don't assume. I feel like there should even be like self-deal breakers. Don't assume. And I can't even I think and you can't even relate to somebody that assumes a lot. So you don't call me, you're assuming I'm cheating. You don't do this, assuming I'm this. You don't like, do you understand? So like assumption is like a main thing. Like it's a main thing. And in business, once you start assuming things, or you start assuming like, oh, this girl, I saw her that day carrying crate of mineral for her mother, she'll be able to clean very well. It will shock you that the beggar to carry out
premium tears. Even in relationships, right?
Okay.
When you like that, okay, let's put ourselves like, okay, I am dating this celebrity on social media. This person is always happy. There's money. There's a lot. Then I start dating this person. I already assumed in my head that, oh, this person will give me money. This person will take me out. This is what will happen. And she just tell me, oh God, there's no money today. I'm like,
let's say for the first time you kind of understand. Oh, okay, no, maybe he has bank issues. Second time POS is not working. Third time one thing. Fourth time even like I say these excuses, it's becoming more than the reality we thought it was. You understand? So
I feel like in relationships, the ones I have seen, a lot of people try to like fix themselves in this position of
in boxes that they can't fully contain.
Yes, that's the right word. Because some people are like, okay, I have to lie to package myself from the beginning. My dad works in Bill Gates' company.
Yeah, unsustainable.
I went last week. I went to South Africa. This one. So and you don't know what might happen. You guys might get serious. What do you want to start?
Patching,
removing, and everything, and it would have eaten so deep that you have to keep on living the lies.
That's true. That's really deep. Like thinking about it now, sometimes after you finish like a conversation, once you try processing everything that's been said, like so I think deal breaker. Another deal breaker that's common is lies. Because I can't just imagine myself being with somebody or doing this with somebody that lives on lie, because Yoruba says if you start lying, you start stealing.
Yeah.
And there's
One thing leads to another.
exactly. So I feel like we should, when it comes to deal breakers, we should outline these things for ourselves. That's the point of this segment here, where we talked about our various deal breakers. Because I said lie doesn't mean yours should be lie. Because it said misconception of background doesn't mean yours should be. Because we talked about assumption doesn't mean yours should be. You should craft it according to your personality, according to what works for you, according to what you are, you are particular about, what affects your very essence. Some people's very essence, like everybody's very essence, can be questioned. Like what affects me, like in total, might not affect in total, please, in quotes, yeah, might not affect the next person deeply. So you have to craft it to yourself. And the point of this program is not for us to come out and say, oh, this is how it's done or this is how it's done. No, it's for us to educate you, like, okay, you need to outline this thing down, because if you don't outline it, because in your subconscious it's outlined. That's the funny thing, because in your mind you know why you're not talking to this person, or you just zoned out from somebody, but you can't really explain why you did that. You can't even explain, oh, this was what they did wrong. I know sometimes even in relationship, when you ask some people like, oh, what happened, they say we fell out. They can't really pinpoint one thing the person was doing. And some other times when they pinpoint it to you, you're like, so it's not really, but to the other person it was affecting their very, 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 very essence. Do you understand? And in as much I would say, oh, you could have assumed before you started the relationship, things like human beings change. We change. What I fancied, then change is constant, yeah. What I fancied some days ago might not be what I'm fancying now.
Yes.
I remember there was a time where fixing your hair was the main thing, but right now with wigs,
yeah,
and everybody's just like, oh, I can just get this wig, put it here, put it there. But there was a time where it was lace. I think it was lace closure one time, and now everybody's shouting, oh, frontal, oh, closure. You understand? So in as much as this is still exists, it's still, it's still a gradual process, because what's in vogue now is not what we invoke tomorrow.
Yeah.
Most definitely.
Sorry.
Okay, no problem.
To cognizance in business, another deal breaker is indiscipline. Once you see your second party, you understand?
It's not even about second party too. Sorry to interrupt. I feel like it's like generally, because even your staffs.
Yeah.
Staff starting from like the IX echelon down to
chain of command.
Exactly.
That is coming from the 14 principles of Henry Fayol. You understand? Whereby there is chain of command, you have the board of directors, everything. Even on the board of directors are not going to be aware sometimes. That is why we have the MD CEO and the GMD. So he takes control of the company and all that. One thing is just, once you just see that indiscipline, pronto, you have to act. You understand? So you have to act. So coming by assumption or whatever, you understand, or prediction, it is very, very, very dangerous. You understand? So it can truncate the spirit of business.
In just in case of next time, so the next time we're going to be having everyone on the show. Just be sure to bring your dictionary by your side, because all these scrupulous and all these things that were young, Jessica, truncate. So please just have it by your side. It's been really amazing. Thank you so much for joining me. So I want to also talk about negotiable and non-negotiable.
Okay.
So in as much as we have deal breakers are things that we can't tolerate. The fact that you can't tolerate it doesn't mean that like it really affects your very essence.
Yeah.
Do you understand? And there's things that people can work on, or this that as soon as I see it, it's a red flag. So talking about, okay, let me give like a contrast. So when we are talking, we know how to do this. Talking about the ones that you can tolerate, we are looking at the ones you can't tolerate. For me personally, yeah, I feel like it is domestic violence. So even if like friendship whatsoever, talking stage, it's not working. And also in business, you can just imagine when like a boss is getting so annoyed and picks up her shoes or picks up his shoes and brings at the other person. It's still part of violence. So violence is one thing that is a major deal breaker. The major deal breaker, and it's not, and to me it is non-negotiable. I see traits of it. I'm not going to assume that you have the traits, but I see it, I watch it. I don't think I will ever be patient to witness it and to be a victim of the circumstance. But as soon as I start it,
even the Bible says something. Affliction shall not rise the second time.
That affliction will never rise the first time. No, let's play. No.
You saw it in the first.
Chill. That affliction you're talking about, Into bello. Before I run away.
No, I can't just imagine telling my dad that someone slapped.
No, in fact, you see one thing that do reported speech. Well,